Let 'em see you're strong. Let 'em see you're willing to keep going. Let 'em see your power comes from somewhere they can't fathom. Let 'em see you smile.
Please pray with me. As we just breathe into this moment, we allow ourselves to be present now. And in this now moment, in this space, we know that Spirit is present. We know that there is a power, a presence, a truth, a light that is everywhere. And we know today, and we affirm right here and right now, that this power, that this beautiful being, this essence, this energy that is God, lives within each and every one of us. We are comforted by this. We are accompanied in all things. We are guided when we seek that guidance. How beautiful this is, how perfect it is. And so right here and right now, I just bless this time as we turn our attention to the words that are spoken and the message that is delivered and received, and knowing that everyone is cared for. Everyone is in that place of being blessed, being perfect. And so I call it good, I call it God, and I just let it go and I let it be. And so it is. It is already the month of June. And this month, our theme, our focus for the month is the soul's call. The soul's call. And today we're going to talk about pushed by pain. And I don't know about you, but when I first saw that talk title, I thought, well, that's an interesting place to go. But let's just take a few minutes and look at this. I wonder what it would be like if we stopped judging pain. Because we do. We do. We decide whether or not we should have pain. We decide how long we should endure pain. We decide how we should express that pain. And we are constantly in this place of judgment around it. And it makes it difficult to really drop into that space of what does it mean and what is it telling us and what is it doing for us? Because we have this mindset that life is supposed to be painless. And therefore, if there is pain, it must be bad, it must be negative. And so with that kind of mindset, it's really challenging for us to just be with the pain when it shows up. Ernest Holmes says this: I believe everything is as real as it is supposed to be. If a person hurts, he hurts. There is no use denying it. And so we talk in this philosophy a lot about illness and pain and discomfort and how these are signals to us to pay attention. So what would your life be like tomorrow if you decided to embrace the pain in your life, whether that be something physical or it be something emotional? Truthfully, it is considered an invitation to a higher consciousness. What would that be like for each of us? Many of us have researched ways to avoid pain. We are constantly looking for relief. We are constantly looking for something to remove the pain from us. We take a pill, we have a drink, we go to a party, we go climb a mountain, we try to get away, we take a vacation. We do all these things to try to remove ourselves from this pain. And if this pain is truly a messaging for us, that is telling us something to do, to change, to shift, then we really don't want to try to escape it. Do we? I think not. The truth is, the pain is here for a reason. The feelings that show up for us are here for a reason. And God, being in all things, is also expressing in our pain, in that experience of ours, of pain. You know, when I was growing up, it was really easy to get relief from pain. Because every little ailment, I was given a pill or some type of medication. And I wasn't very old. In fact, I was in junior high the first time I was given a prescription for some pretty intense pain medication. And junior high and high school were not comfortable places for me. I had grown up into an arena of life where I had these friends and we went to grade school together and we had these really great relationships. But when we showed up in that place called junior high and high school, those guys changed. They were mean. They were tormenting us. They were teasing us. They were making fun of us. And it was like all of a sudden my world had just gone upside down and topsy-turvy. And so before long, I was taking medication, not only for pain, physical pain that I was dealing with, but also for stress, because I was stressed out all the time. In high school, we had a riot. And looking back, I don't remember a lot of the news and the media talking about, well, it was just the news and the newspaper back then, talking about what happened, but I remember the fear in my heart of being at school and seeing all of these cars pull into our parking lot and all of these kids from another school jumping out, and they had things that looked like weapons, and some of them actually had guns, and they came charging into the school. And I was standing on a stairway, and this kid came running down the hall, and he started down the stairs alongside of me, and he grabbed one of those big rubber kind of trash cans, and he picked it up and he threw it and hit another student that I knew, and the student fell. And I was mortified. And I didn't even know what to do. I had never faced anything like that before. And I remember my best friend's dad came to the school, and he picked us up and he took us to their home. And the first thing I was offered when we got to her house was a pill to help me calm down, to help me feel better. So our society has kind of prompted us to go to this place where we get this belief system that says I shouldn't feel any pain. I shouldn't have to feel this way. I should feel good all the time. If God is so good, then I should feel good, right? Well, there are things that we do in the human world that have to spark us, that have to speak to us, and pain is one of them. We are very aware of the pain that is going on in the planet, on our planet today. We are very aware of people who are enduring pain and suffering. And what we want to do is we want to hold that space and that container for all people to heal themselves, because we do have the ability to do that. And we can't do that if we keep numbing it. And one of the reasons that suicide is on the rise, and it continues to be that year after year, and especially with younger people, they're not trying to necessarily leave the planet, they're trying to escape the pain. And for many in that circumstance of suicide, when it becomes unbearable, they take that step, they take that action because the pain is just too much. Many years ago, I began to do some work around the idea of letting go of the medications and the things that I had been given to numb the pain, and to turn my attention to actually experiencing the pain. And I remember the very beginning, one of the very first days that I was kind of in that place where I could feel things. And it was foreign to me. It was almost frightening at times because it was just such a shock to my system. But I began to thrive on it because I wanted to feel. I wanted to be in that place. I was done with living in these clouded expressions of life because I was numbed from medication. When life isn't working the way we want it to, pain gets our attention. Pain invites us to look around, to figure out what's out of harmony and what is it we need to do. Consider this for a moment. Even though many of you have not literally experienced childbirth, think about childbirth. We know it's a painful process. We know it's a challenging process. And it doesn't matter how intense it is, how long the process lasts. When you get to the other side, there's this beautiful, rich gift. There's this birth of this child. And the child is not changed or altered related to the pain that the birthing mother has gone through. The child is still beautiful. And this is something to look at, that on the other side, there is beauty. On the other side, there is joy. There is hope. Coretta Scott King said this, "My story is a freedom song from within my soul. It is a guide to discovery, a vision of how even the worst pain and heartaches can be channeled into human monuments, impenetrable and everlasting." Within our soul is a song that is leading us to a better life, to a better expression. Our pain is a call to discovery. It is the soul calling us, and the call is intimate. It's challenging. It's powerful. And when we wake up to this, and when we become aware of this, and we choose a different experience, that impact of our waking up is felt across the planet, because we create a ripple effect. Letting go. One of the spiritual practices we talk about that is so important can feel like pain. It can feel painful to let go. And especially in a situation when we're letting go of someone who has left this life form, and we have to let them go, or let go of that particular experience. So look at nature for just a moment. We are already moving into summer. This year is flying by like all of them. And what have you noticed happening outside? I've seen my neighbors outside digging and planting, and they're out there with their shovels, and they're getting into the earth, and they're creating beauty in their yards. Nobody was out there during the winter trying to dig up the snow and the frozen ground. We waited till the temperatures got warmer, and then we started to do that. Nature isn't screaming because we're digging up the ground and we're rototilling and we're doing all of these wonderful things that we do with all these amazing gadgets. It is in that place of awareness that knows that this is the next step for it. This is the next transitional period for it. So if we could look at it that way, we can also look at the fact that the pain is sending us a message. So I ask you today, what is the pain in your life signifying for you? Is there something that you're choosing to ignore? Is there something that you don't want to pay attention to, and it's causing you physical or emotional pain? What would happen if you just breathed into it? If you asked what it means to you, what it's bringing forth for you? It's important to acknowledge it, because we all feel pain at some point in time or another. It's a fact of life. We can replace the beliefs that are delivered by the pain with a commitment to self. When I get a headache, maybe I need more water. Maybe I need to breathe deeply for a while. But the last thing I need to do is reach for the bottle of Tylenol. Maybe I need to look at my practices. What was just going on with me that all of a sudden I have this pain? What just transpired in my thinking that I get to pay attention to? How beautiful would it be if every time something showed up, we just kind of allowed it to push us into the next expression? J.K. Rowling says this, "Numbing the pain for a while will make it worse when you finally feel it." This is so true, because we see this in the act of grief. When we lose someone and we are grieving, the pain is so intense, we don't want to feel it. So we dive into our work, or we try to do something else to get us away from that so that we don't have to think about it. But the truth is, eventually, it will resurface. And then the pain is more intense, more excruciating. So let's deal with it today. Let's move into that place of spiritual practice where whatever's showing up in our world, whatever is tangible and impacting us, let us allow ourselves to pay attention to it, to listen to the messaging, and to adjust as we need to. Keep in mind, you're not feeling pain because you're being punished. That is not the truth. No one and no thing is punishing you by creating pain in your body, your being, your heart, your spirit, because you did something wrong or that you're a bad person. It doesn't work that way. If we just set a clear intention for something to change and allow that pain to support us in making that change, it can be an amazing, amazing process. Remember this, today's experience of pain can lead to a tomorrow of joy, love, light, balance, peace of mind, health, and well-being. Wouldn't that be worth it? Wouldn't it be worth it to just sit with it for a few minutes and allow it to be and to reflect on what's coming forth? Because one thing we know is that we all have the answers within us if we just take the time to listen. God is in every experience. And what you get to know today is that we are being pushed by pain into a greater experience. Allow that to be your reality this week. Please pray with me. What I know right here and right now is I know that Spirit is in all things. And I know that the God of yesterday is the God of tomorrow, and that God is with me today, and I call it God. I call it good. I call it Spirit. I call it universal wisdom. And I know that there is only one. There is only one being. And it moves through and in each and every one of us. And there are moments in time where things show up in our lives where we've gotten a little bit out of kilter and pain may show up. And what I know for each of us this week is that we have the ability to just breathe it in, to reflect, to question, and to shift and change our consciousness to something bigger, better, and greater. How beautiful is that? What I know right here and right now is that all people everywhere are blessed. And people who are gathering together to worship or to connect in community or to connect in love are all blessed, because all of us live in this beautiful, beautiful physical world, and we are all influenced and touched by that grace of God. And I call it good, and I call it beautiful, I call it perfect, and I call it done. So I just let this go and I let it be. And so it is.
Shining bright, so let him see your light. The road is long, just let him see you're strong.